All right, there you go. Way to lose momentum. That's right. The go live button on Restream still doesn't work. I don't know how I'm supposed to do this. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. I'm Pugs Moran. This is the Kelly Moore Memorial Studios in the beautiful E Gallery in Dallas's Design District. And this is the Rant every day, round about this time since 2021. Talk radio for normal people. Hold on. I'm getting a very important phone call now. If this phone call had come 2 minutes earlier, the show would have probably started at 15 after. Hold on. I've got to wait now. Got to wait for the phone to finish ringing because my closest friends, like I said, I've only been doing this for 5 years. My closest friends apparently don't listen. Well, why should they? All right, I need to text that person back very quickly. And then we'll get into everything we're going to do today. I've got a whole bunch of topics. All right, there we go. Oh, let's see if that works. All right, everybody, resetting. Oh, already troubles. People blowing up my phone at the start of the show. The go live button won't engage, I guess would be the word. All right, here's what we do here. We talk about, the things that are happening in the world, hot topics, current events, trends, whatever it is that yours truly feels interested in. This used to just be a rundown of all the news. We did that for a couple of years, and then it was just too depressing. And I was always yelling, and I would like end the show, and I'd be like, I just hate everybody. And I didn't want to do that. So what we've kind of changed to in the 2 p.m. form is more of a conversational show about hot topics and stuff. Hi, April. April's in the chat room. Al's in the chat room. Taranda's in the chat room. We already said hi to Barney. Barney's in the chat room. Today is Tuesday, so what that means is it is Trash Trivia Day. That's right, Trash Trivia. Every Tuesday night, 7:30, the back 9, 4060 Beltline Road in beautiful swinging Addison, Texas. Today's topics. I saw April. April in the chat room reminded me that I've got to do today's topics. All right, so here's how Trash Trivia works out there. Last week was great. I'm really hoping to build on last week. Here's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to do 2 rounds of trivia, okay? Each round will consist of 4 unique categories. That ain't true. It used to be 4 unique categories, but quite frankly, it's like I've been going to like trivia sites and taking existing trivia questions and then just reworking them in my own style, because I don't want to be one of these trivia hosts who just pulls cards or, reads other people's questions. I like to add some flair and some fun to them. So today's 8 categories. That's right. Remember, 4 categories per round, 2 rounds. 8 categories are as follows. Round 1, going to be random. We always start out the first round with a random category. I personally like the random category because it's sort of it levels the playing field, if you will. There are certain categories that certain people are just going to be better at. With random, you never know. Excuse me. Random is category 1. Category 2 in round 1 is going to be cool things. Cool things. Cool things. Is it like cool like, oh, I'm a little cool. Can I get a sweater? Or is it cool like, hey, come by tonight at 7:30 and find out. Category 3 in round 1, comedy casts. I like to do this. Last week we did it with horror movie casts, where I gave you 3 people who appeared in a classic horror film, and you have to name the horror film. This week we're going to do it with comedy. Comedy casts. And then the final category in round 1 will be current events, little pieces of news and information that have dribbled out in the past 7 days. Current events ends round 1. Round 2, we're going to do random again. Yeah, I'm really going to start leaning into more random. I like random. Round 2, category 1 will be another random category. I like to start out each round with a leveler. I don't know what I'm saying here. My voice is shit. Why by Tuesday is my voice always shit? All right. Category 2 in round 2 after random will be state capitals. Yeah. Yeah, this is just because of this incident I got into with my kid, and it's an easy category to make. But you know what? It turns out I'm not great at state capitals either. Putting this category together, I was like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. All right, so state capitals. You probably knew them in the 7th grade. Do you know them now? State capitals is going to be category 2 of round 2 for tonight's trivia. Then we're going to do book stuff. Book stuff. You ever read a book? I don't know, fewer and fewer people read books. All questions about famous books and their authors. Book stuff. Then we're going to do gross food. Gross food is the final category. Now, you might be thinking, Pugs, what is gross food? It's food I think is gross. It's just trivia questions, and all of the answers it'll be gross to me. All right, those are the 8 categories for tonight's trivia. We've got prizes. We've got gift cards for the back 9. You get your tab taken care of. All of that stuff. If you win, if you're good. Trash trivia tonight at the back 9, 4060 Beltline Road. All right, hold on. April can't make trivia. What a horrid turn of events. April can't make trivia. Who's going to fill her space? Al, you going to pick her up? Who's going to pick her up? Next man up. Come on, chat room. That is depressing to learn. But we go on. We soldier on. All right, a bunch of stuff we're going to talk about today. Obviously, there's some very big news in the pop culture world that occurred. But we're also going to talk about these crazy-ass dust storms in the Southwest. And you might not care about them unless you're a fan of the Burning Man Orgy Dome, because there's been an incident. There has been an incident at the Burning Man Orgy Dome, and it is directly related to these insane dust storms. Dryness, maybe? I don't know. What could go wrong at the Orgy Dome? We'll find out. We're also going to talk about, we got an Epstein update for you. I haven't been doing an Epstein update every day. Well, and by that, I mean, I didn't do one yesterday. But an Epstein update. We're also going to talk about who we canceling today. Who's next in the hopper to be canceled today? Cracker Barrel? Can't do Cracker Barrel. If you're on one side. I think that's pretty much right? That's pretty much like MAGA. They're like mad at Cracker Barrel, going woke. Whenever you hear the complaint is they've gone woke, you know what side they're from. So, okay, let's not kid ourselves. Cracker Barrel. But now the lefties, they're pissed at Snoop Dogg. So we'll get into that. Snoop Dogg said some things. The left is now canceling Snoop Dogg. I use canceling as like what is it? I don't know, duct tape. It applies to everything, right? But what we're really talking about is who we're mad about because they spoke their mind and we can't handle it. Well, today, as I said, it's Snoop Dogg, and we'll investigate that. Some changes occurring at SNL. I like to keep you abreast of all the breaking SNL news, so we'll talk about that. And also a list of the 20 rudest cities and other things that we'll discuss. Hold on. First, I need to do this, though. Hold on. Give me a second before we start the show. All right, guys, here we go. The big story, of course, today is the announcement that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are getting married. Oh, my God. How excited are we? If we only had somebody, an expert in this situation that we could talk to. So we're going to talk to, there she is. It's Lacey. Lacey, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi. I'm taking a moment from celebrating right now.
It's a very, very busy day for our girl Lacey today because, of course, it was announced about 2 hours ago now that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are engaged. Lacey is, of course, Lacey, tell everybody your Taylor Swift stripes so they know you're an expert.
Yeah, I have a little bit of cred. I'm one of 4 hosts on 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. We've had the podcast for almost 5 years now, started at the beginning of her re-recording process. And we've been fortunate enough, along with the rest of the world, to follow along with this love story. And it's just been incredible to watch. And who thought this news would come out at 1 o'clock on a Tuesday? I was having a regular day. Now I'm supposed to work and do stuff for the rest of the day. I need to celebrate.
Yeah, I know. I was shocked by it too. I saw it glancing. I was about to get into the shower and the TV was on, and it was ABC News Online, the live stream that announced it for me. And then I went over to Twitter immediately, and the New York Post had it. And then I texted you, Lacey, and I said, "Come on and tell me about what's happening." Now, I have to ask, because I don't give a crap about this. Again, we're talking to Lacey G, Taylor Swift weirdo. Did we see this coming? I mean, I know they've been together for quite some time, but you in the Taylor Swift world, were you like, it's going to happen any day? Was there any hints?
Not necessarily, because everybody wants to put expectations on for her to get married, and like that is some great big feat. So some people want to be together just for the rest of their lives and do Goldie Hawn and that, but this is their love story, so I'm not going to go off on that. But no one expects them to necessarily get engaged and have babies just because that's what other people say that people should expect. And for her to be this open with her life, she just went on his podcast last week and was very open and vulnerable and showing a personal side of them in their relationship that they don't have to announce that they're engaged. So
did you
I think it's beautiful that she did.
Did you listen to that podcast?
I was there for I was parked in front of my TV like 5 minutes before.
Was that the first time you had listened to that podcast, or have you lurked previously because of Travis being a part of it?
I've seen it around on social media. I don't necessarily listen to it, but they're very funny. They're very entertaining.
Yeah,
and it was
successful.
A great watch.
Well, the reason I ask is because although that podcast, The Heights, hosted by Travis and Jason Kelsey, is incredibly popular to begin with, after her surprise appearance and all the buildup that surrounded it, that show just rocketed up the charts. I mean, we are talking millions of people who had never listened to that show before. And I remember thinking, what a cool ass girlfriend, man. I'm sorry, but that is an awesome, because she very easily could have, I don't know if he suggested it or if she suggested it. If she suggested it, then she is an awesome girlfriend. But if he suggested it, she could very easily have said, my people really don't want me doing this. It seems too telegraphed. It seems like a cash grab for you guys. You know what I mean? It seems like just a way for me. But if it was her idea, like if she went, you know what, let me come on. How come you don't let me on your podcast? How come I can't come on? Then that's totally awesome, because although I say The Heights, it was already a popular, or what is it called? Is it The Heights, or is it the
It's New Heights.
New Heights,
and
that's what it is.
Yeah, and it is one of the top podcasts. I mean, it'd easily be in the top 20, and in the world of podcasts, that's insane, and probably more higher up there. But you're saying them making money off of her. And interestingly enough, on that episode, they did not have sponsors because they were not wanting to make any money off of her. I know it's impossible that this episode didn't, but I mean, what they projected could have.
You're talking about direct cash because of it. Like, oh, she's on, here's a check. No, I am talking about the cash that is now newly available to them because of the new audience that they've been exposed to. I mean, their profile has been upped to a very popular NFL-based guy talk show, to a whole new audience. That's what I'm talking. She has raised their profile. I don't even know by how much. People like you, and not just you, and like I said, you probably had checked it out because you are a daily Taylor Swift blogger or whatever follower. But what about like the 16-year-old Taylor Swift fan? What about all of those people who were lined up in the queue? There were thousands of people waiting, right, before that show aired. It's just so incredibly cool that she was willing to do that. Let me put it a different way. She went down to a level that she doesn't go to. She doesn't appear on people's podcasts, and I thought it was cool she did it for her boyfriend.
No, they are so supportive of each other and down to earth. And even their engagement photos, absolutely beautiful, taken in this garden with a bunch of flowers, but they're both in seemingly regular clothes. I mean, I'm sure it still costs a good amount of money because of who they are, but they're not flashy people. They're not out there just spending. If you didn't recognize them because they're absolutely everywhere, they could be anybody,
Well, I am not one of these people who just for some unknown reason despise them. I honestly, I could care less. I expect high profile sports athletes to date beautiful pop icons. Joe DiMaggio and Marilyn Monroe. I mean, it's not like this. We haven't seen this over and over again. Madonna and Jose Canseco, right? This happens. Why, for some reason, these two have just the anger that you hear from people? Like, I've already seen it on Twitter. People, and also I'll say, do you remember everybody, that class of American who, when this was first announced, they were just absolutely convinced that this was all a publicity stunt.
Stunt, and this is all for money. And that, I mean, the way that they risked everything for him to go to the Eras tour and be with her, for her to show up at the Chiefs game. I mean, I remember anyway, it was being speculated that they were possibly dating, and we're like, no way. And then she's publicly showing up at his game to support him. And people want to think that somehow she's making that about her instead of she's there to support. But he also went to the Eras tour a ton of times. And I mean, they're so beautiful and supportive together. And he wants to play the dumb jock type. He was definitely doing that on the podcast. And she kept calling him out, like, you've read Hamlet. Their Instagram post today, Taylor and Travis did a joint post together. And the caption is, your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married. That was their Instagram. That is the cutest thing ever. That is so adorable.
See, now that's the reason why. But it's all right. What you find adorable, I find cringy, and I think a lot of other people do as well. But
no, I thought, especially after New Heights, I thought the sports people were kind of coming around to her. I thought people saw that interview and thought that they were relatable and cute. I mean, she's cheeky because even in the promo, she said, what's the one thing that guys in sports want to see more of? And that's me on your tiny screen. She's going along with the joke.
No,
they have personality.
Right. She's self-effacing. She gets it. She seems like a pretty cool chick. That's the other thing that I don't get. So wait, I want to double back, though, to the whole this is a publicity stunt thing. When people were saying that back then, I used to just look at them and go, you don't understand how big Taylor Swift is. She doesn't need to do publicity stunts. Everything she does gets publicity. You don't need to do publicity stunts. People who are relatively new. I could see Sabrina Carpenter right now at this stage of her career pulling some publicity stunts, not Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift was not going to date some football player for a publicity stunt. It was just absurd. Secondly, these dudes who hate Taylor Swift, it is the weirdest thing. I'm not a fan of her music. I'm not an anti-fan of her music. I'm not really in her target demo, so I'm not all that familiar with the deep cuts, right? I know the pop hits, and they're fine. There are no more offensive or great than any other pop hit. But these dudes that have this hatred for it, and if you notice this, Lacey, and I think it's so strange, all these dudes who hate Taylor Swift post pictures of her trying to insinuate that she has a dick. These people want her to have a dick. It's like these closet cases.
I have never heard that.
Oh, you've never seen this?
What dark side of the internet? Mine's so happy, Pugs. Come over to my side.
No.
Where's English teachers and your gym teachers getting engaged, getting married?
Mainstream, it's a very MAGA thing. I'll give you that. But it's mainstream MAGA, where every time the belief is that she's not a dude because everybody's got to be like gay or LGBT or a child molester to these people. And I keep seeing this where it's like, what do you notice about the bulge in her pants? And I'm like, holy crap, you closet case. You really want her to be a dude. You just can't admit it. And it makes me absolutely sick because she does seem like, as far as pop stars go, she seems very nice. She seems very likable. I don't know. I'm a little bit bothered by the whole, she's always shocked when good things happen to her, right? Have you seen that meme?
In this world, she's made fun of it herself because that damn girl can't do anything without you judging her and looking at her undercarriage and trying to determine what is there and what is not. That is the stupidest shit I've ever heard, Doug. I've never even heard that before.
It's out there. There's a lot of stuff out there, and you live in your pro Taylor Swift bubble, and that's probably a nice place to be.
She is the man. She has a song that's all about it. She doesn't have to have a member, and she doesn't have one. I mean, that's stupid. There's two people here in love that can break the internet by announcing their engagement on a Tuesday. She has been breaking the internet for 3 weeks now, ever since she announced her 12th album that isn't even coming out for another month.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing. There were probably any number of ways that she could have dropped that earth-shattering news of her new album release. She chose to do it on her boyfriend's podcast, man. That is so awesome.
That is awesome.
And it's like, we all think, I think there are a lot of people who look at them and they're like, what? He doesn't need her help. I'm like, look, dude, she's a multi-billionaire and he's probably got like 30 million. Okay, there's a vast difference where Taylor Swift is and where Travis Kelce is. They're just not in the same financial ballpark. They're not in the same influence ballpark. So that was a very, very awesome thing for her to do for him and his brother.
But they're so supportive in different ways. The Ring, which he helped create. This is all according to sources. They haven't said anything, but it's from an independent designer. They went to a small business owner, or he did, and had this ring designed instead of going to the celebrity jewelers where you get everything for free. And like she had glitter, what was it? Glitter freckles on one day that blew up a small business and made this small business become rich, mega rich overnight, because Taylor Swift showed up to a Kansas City Chief football game with glitter freckles, and everybody else started doing it too.
Hey, is Taylor Swift open about her pot smoking?
No, it's speculated. It took her forever to drink, even when she was drinking age, because she was afraid she was because she was a role model. She didn't want people. So, she's definitely been around the pot, whether or not she's smoking.
The reason I asked that is because Travis Kelce is a big pot smoker, and it's very rare that you have a big pot smoker in a relationship with somebody who's not a pot smoker or who is at least okay with it. Travis Kelce got bounced out of Cincinnati in college for smoking pot, and apparently he's never really stopped. But NFL players are so good at getting away with smoking pot now. It's like they all do. I was just wondering if she had ever mentioned that or talked about it.
She's made mentions of stuff in songs, but no, she's never openly admitted. And there's been pictures of him with a joint in his hand, but never her. I think she's just more private about it.
The stories, and these are stories, Travis Kelce is high 24 hours a day. He wakes up and gets high, and then he's always high. That's why he's always got that smile. That's why he's always got that kind of chill, calm thing. I mean, I don't know if this is the case. He's
probably on the positive side of Swift talk too. That's why, because we're over here smoking our weed and staying on the positive side of the internet.
And I don't know how true that is during season or when he's cramping up. But off season, Travis Kelce is like a Bob Marley dude. I mean, at least that's how the stories go. All right. So what do we know? Has there been a date announced for the wedding or what? Where are they getting married? Do we know? Tennessee.
Nothing announced. Nothing's known. Who knows if this just happened, why they're sharing it now. That is what's truly so beautiful about it, is that they never had to say anything. They could have just came out one day and said, well, we got married a while ago. I mean, you don't owe us an explanation and pictures. It is just so relatable and so giddy for people who have been following this love story. Following in the New Heights interview, did you watch it, Pugs? I didn't even ask you.
No. No, I didn't really care.
You didn't watch for 2 hours? Oh my gosh. It was incredible. But
I saw clips. I saw the clips that went around.
Taylor was talking about how Travis Kelce went to the Eras tour and was mad that she didn't come meet him after, because he brought her a friendship bracelet, and she heard such a stink about it after, and she was like, this guy is outside of my stadium holding up a boombox like in the 80s. Like, I've always wanted someone to do this, and now here's this guy doing the biggest, grandest gesture ever in front of the whole world. And I mean, it worked. Hey, here they are.
Let me ask you one question before I let you go. Are you familiar with, I think her name is Ashley, the Taylor Swift impersonator that goes to Chiefs games and sits in boxes and all the cameramen think it's actually Taylor Swift. Are you familiar with Ashley?
I follow her account, or I know someone by that name. I didn't know that she goes to games and does that.
Yeah, I'm showing. I know you're not on with us right now, but I'm showing a picture on the stream. Let's see if can I make it bigger. Yeah, there it is. Showing a picture on the stream. This happened on Friday, I think it was. They played the Chicago Bears in Kansas City, and the local Chicago crew thought that Ashley was Taylor Swift, so they kept showing her. If you're watching on the stream, I'm showing the picture of Ashley, the Taylor Swift impersonator. And it went for like a full half before they had to come back on and say, that's not Taylor Swift. That's Ashley. Apparently she goes to all the games and everybody thinks she's Taylor Swift. The reason I ask is because I'm showing her right now on the stream, and she's got Taylor Swift's haircut, and she's built like Taylor Swift, and she's wearing bright red Taylor Swift lipstick. But my God, Taylor Swift is a 10 and Ashley's like a 7 at best. How are people, when I saw her for the first time on Friday and on the game during a timeout, or Travis Kelce had just made a catch, so they showed her. I looked at her and I went, oh my God, does Taylor Swift look awful? And then a half of football later, they're like, hey, that's not Taylor Swift. And I'm like, I knew it. I knew that wasn't her. Anyway, I was just wondering if you knew the story of Ashley.
Pugs, I love you. Whenever you go out in public, what celebrity are people confusing you for?
I don't know.
What handsome, striking man are they confusing you for, huh?
Nobody. No, nobody.
I think that she's beautiful, and I understand how people could have been confused. No, they're not exactly the same, but people are looking for a certain look, and they think that's the only way. Taylor Swift said on the New Heights podcast that the very first time she went to the Chiefs game, she walked in through the front door with no security, with like Travis. I guess she wasn't with Travis, but it was Travis's friends. They were all tall and kind of surrounding her, but no one's also looking for her. So she walked in through the front door as Taylor Swift because no one was thinking about her, not at that football game.
Yeah, that was just 3 weeks ago. It was their first preseason game. That went viral, and you can actually see her. She's kind of hidden in between these like giant guys who just look like regular fans, and she looks like one of their girlfriends. But yeah, she walked right through the front door and nobody noticed, except, I will say, the person who was filming from about 20 yards away. They were zooming in and they're like, I swear to God, that's her. I swear to God, that's her. So somebody, but she did, unmolested. She just walked straight through the crowd like a normal person. So that's the last time that'll ever happen. All right, Lacey, thank you so much. Tell folks once again where they can find and listen to your Taylor Swift expertise on the regular.
Yeah, 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast that's streaming everywhere that you get your podcast. It's on YouTube. We post new episodes every Tuesday, breaking down a Taylor Swift song. We're currently in our Evermore era, so we're breaking down that album, and we're going to have a brand new TS12 coming up here in a month that we'll be breaking down after that. And we have all the Taylor Swift news there as well. 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast.
There you go. What happens when she releases her 13th album?
We're gonna lose it, because this 12th one is gonna be about behind the scenes at the Eras tour. This 13th one is gonna be about her love life.
It'll be the divorce album. That's what 13 will be.
Stop it.
I predicted right now. All right, thank you, Lacey. Hey, Lacey, you coming to trivia tonight?
Yeah, I'll be there.
See, that's so great. See, look, Lacey's a pro. She knows this game. Even if she's not showing up, she knows to say, yeah, I'll be there. She better show up.
I'll be there, and I'll be celebrating. So see you all there.
There you go. All right. Thank you, Lacey. The lovely Lacey G. Former Kid Craddock show, former Pugs and Kelly show, she's doing it all. All right. Excuse me. My voice is very, very jacked up right now. I don't know why this happens on Tuesdays. I think it might have something to do with me concerning myself with, what's happening tonight. Trivia. I'm always very nervous about trivia at the back nine. All right, let's get into some other things today, because that cannot possibly be the only thing we're going to talk about. Why would we? Let's do this. Okay, got some cool video here. Did you guys see did you guys see these dust storms that are happening in the Southwest? Now, you got a lot of people, they're a bunch of pearl clutching scaredy cats. They're all like, God, it's the end of days, or, whatever. This isn't rare, right? These things happen all the time in the American Southwest. It's just that we currently live in an era where everybody's got the capability to document it and then upload it to a central platform where everybody can see it. And it seems like this is a once-in-a-lifetime event. I don't think it is. Don't they call them hababs? Isn't that what they're called in Arizona and stuff? Here, let's check some of these out because they are pretty incredible. This is going on yesterday there in the Southwest. Let's watch this one first. Is that just a picture? That's a cool picture. All right, we don't need pictures. We want video, right? That's what we're looking for. All right, check this out from some rich dude's pool. This is the encroaching dust storm. This is, I think this is from Arizona. I think most of these are from Arizona. Here it comes. So what happens here? Like, can you go inside, but is your house covered in dust on the outside, but not on the inside? Or do you have dust all on the inside too because of air conditioning? And look at this. What? You can't just as what did that person run scared? All right, let's see what else we got. There are more videos. Let's see. There's a real cool time-lapse one from the airport, which I wanted to get to. All right, let's check out this one. Here's another. This one's got me. I mean, does it weigh a lot? Like, do roofs collapse? I know there was damage at Sky Harbor Airport yesterday. Roof was damaged. Yeah. Pretty damn biblical. All right, let's close that one out. Let's see what else we got from these. Oh, here you go. This is the airport one. This is wild. Here we go. Sky Harbor Airport. These things move slow, huh? They do. This is time lapse, and everything's sped up about 5-10 times speed. This thing's moving slow. What's on the other side? Is that rain? Does rain come with this? I don't know. I don't know anything about this stuff. All right, let me see. Is there another one? Nah, we're done. All right, there you go. That's all you need to know. That happened yesterday. A lot of cool video out there, the dust storm. But what I really want to talk about is how it affected our good friends at Burning Man. No, we got no friends at Burning Man. Burning Man is if you tell me you've been to Burning Man or your dream is to go to Burning Man, I'm going to judge you. Probably not to your face, but I'm going to make a mental note inside my head. I'm going to be like, okay, yeah, he's one of them. All right, so don't loan him money. Don't ever go into business with him. Don't trust them around like any woman that you love because, they've got no rules. They're just weirdos. Burning Man it started out as a thing for just like pothead loser weirdos, right? But then like the tech bros kind of got involved, and then it became like this tech bro, hey, for a weekend we're going to be pothead loser assholes, right? Even though tech bros are pretty much loser assholes all the time. Evolved into like, a psychedelic multimedia interactive art experience in the middle of the desert there. The big finale is they burn this giant, I don't know what it's about. I don't know. I don't care. It just seems awful. And one of the things that make it seem so fucking awful is that they got a thing at Burning Man called the Orgy Dome. That's right. There's a thing called the Orgy Dome. Oh, is this a story? So the Orgy Dome, let me tell you what the Orgy Dome is. All right, here's a story that I found because I was trying to find something that would explain the Orgy Dome. Now this comes from this is the Mirror. All right, okay. And first of all, guys, I don't know what we all have fantasies, right? So we hear Orgy Dome. Oh my God, that sounds awesome. Who are you picturing in the Orgy Dome? Like, who do you think is there? Do you think it's like, hey, I can't believe I'm at the Orgy Dome the same time as the cast of Baywatch? That's not what's happening in the Orgy Dome. The Orgy Dome is like your friend's mom who's, refinding herself at 50. That's who's in the Orgy Dome. The Orgy Dome is just like, a 60-year-old overweight hippie, from the Bay Area. That's who's in the Orgy Dome. Guys, anytime sex is done, anytime sex is offered to you without having to put the legwork in, pursuing something you want to have sex with, and taking it out to dinner, being nice to it, all the things, and then the payoff is sex, right? Anything that doesn't include that, where it's just like, yeah, man, sex is easy there, it's gonna be awful sex. It's gonna be awful sex with awful sex people. So when you tell me that there is an Orgy Dome at Burning Man, a festival that I already believe to be populated by all manner of American miscreant and international, I guess people are now, coming from all over to attend this thing. I'm thinking the worst about Orgy Dome. However, there is a story out there about a girl who got kicked out of Orgy Dome this year. And by the way, I'm going to explain why we're talking. All right, you know what? Bury the lead. Orgy Dome got wiped out by the sandstorm we just watched. Yeah. A bunch of people covered in dust. Pubes just all covered in like all manner of environment. Anyway, Orgy Dome collapsed. So that sandstorm that we just watched rolled through Burning Man happening now, and it collapsed the Orgy Dome, and people are upset. But that got me interested in Orgy Dome. Because, as I just said, they're always so disappointing. Not that I have any real experiences with orgies. I do not. But I just... Have you guys ever seen a prostitute in real life? Okay, can I just put it in those terms? Have you ever seen a streetwalker? Have you ever been in the wrong neighborhood at the wrong time of night and you see these people walking the streets, right? Not exactly the way they were presented to us on Starsky and Hutch. Not exactly the way Hollywood has presented Julia Roberts, the streetwalker, to us, right? No, it's gross. People who are just like, we can have sex anytime we want, are people who nobody wants to have sex with. That's my belief. Except for Bree here. Bree is a model who attended Orgy Dome at Burning Man this year, and she found herself being kicked out because she said she saw some awful and disgusting things. Now, that's all I needed to read. So I clicked and I went and expanded to the full article because I wanted to know. I'm like, what? She's a model. She's going to Burning Man. She enters the orgy tent. And now she's like, it's disgusting. I wanted to read that. Because what did you think it was going to be? You're going into an orgy tent, you big prude. Why are you going in there? Turns out she's not a prude at all. It's not like she wasn't down for some good Orgy Dome action. She's just too much of a princess to have, sex in the sand like that. All right, so let me show you this girl, Bree, who got kicked out of Orgy Dome. Because remember, I just described to you the people you should expect to encounter when going to any kind of orgy, any kind of swingers party. You guys ever met swingers? They're never good. They are never good. You're always like, I don't want to have sex with either of you. No, I'm good. But no, it's just the worst. It's really upsetting. Here we go, though. This is Bree. The model who got kicked out of Orgy Dome. Starting to rethink what Orgy Dome might be, right? I am. I mean, what? What you kicked out of Orgy Dome for? Well, let's read the story. I'll tell you. As we look at Bree. Wait, are there any better pictures of Bree? Let me see. Let's see. Any better pictures of Bree? Oh, sure. A lot of advertisements. Guess that's what Orgy Dome looks like. That's the only... Who's this? All right, this is somebody entering Orgy Dome. She's not bad, but she's probably got... You know what I mean? She looks like a girl who doesn't require her dates to wear condoms. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't look... Ugh, God. All right, I think this is the best picture of Bree that we're going to get. And there she is. All right, let's read about Bree's experience in Orgy Dome, shall we? All right, it says here, model kicked out of Burning Man's disgusting Orgy Dome for, quote, not doing enough. Yeah, I imagine when a girl looking like Bree walks into Orgy Dome, everybody's immediately like, what's she going to do? Let's watch her. All eyes were on Bree. says here the annual Burning Man Festival has kicked off at Black Rock Desert in Nevada, and thousands will be converging on the often talked about Orgy Dome. I had never really heard of Orgy Dome before, but I guess, maybe I'm just not a pervert. Tens of thousands of people flock to the Nevada desert every year for Burning Man. And one of the biggest talking points is always the Orgy Dome. Here's a description. Okay. Well, you can. When the pop-up just covers the first sentence, so you have to wait for the pop-up to be done. Free news, man. Free news. It's never done loading. It's always going to pop up another thing you got to click out of. Some 5,000 people experienced the dome last year at Burning Man, where participants can have sex with 2 or more people inside the giant tent that houses mattresses. They don't have washing machines out there, okay? It houses mattresses, drapes, couches, and pillows. People entering the dome must bring a partner or partners, but can join in with other consenting individuals, because this isn't weird at all. Burning Man bosses describe Orgy Dome as a safe, consensual, sex-positive, inclusory, and exploratory environment. And many visitors have boasted about the rarely available air conditioning. Oh, I get it. Many have said that when the air conditioning works, it's pretty great in there. Nope. All right, so let's see what Bree's experience was. We're looking at Bree. However, Bree Teresi, who describes herself as a model and golf influencer. Okay, she's not a real model. Like I know dozens of models. I know dozens of girls who will tell you that they're a model. What that means is that they've been in a bikini contest and that they've posed for like an auto parts calendar. That's all it takes. Bree is a model, quote, quote, and a golf influencer. That means she's a model who works a lot of golf outings. That's what that means. She spoke about the awkward moment on blah, blah, blah. She talked about the awkward moment at the, hold on, I got to fast forward. Not fast forward, but scroll down. Bree, speaking about her time in the Orgy Dome, said, I went to Burning Man. I met this group of people. We were vibing. And the guy was like, let's go to the orgy tent. And I'm like, okay, let's go. All right, so you're looking at the girl, right? She's not a prude. She just hooks up with a guy. She just meets a guy, and dude's like, why not? Shoot your shot, man. You're only at Burning Man, once a year. Guy turns to her, Bree, who we're looking at, and he's like, hey, you want to go to Orgy Dome? And she's like, okay. Pretty good. That's things moving in the right direction. And how much of a Chad was this guy? This guy was walking around with no shirt. He was all rocked up. Hey, Bree, the model and golf influencer, want to go to Orgy Dome with me? Okay. We are like waiting in line for Orgy Dome, and they are having everyone sign consent forms. So I walk in, and a guy is with me and another girl, and she was very attractive. All right, Bree. Bree is down to hook up. First of all, girls who look like Bree typically don't just hook up with dudes, go into Orgy Dome, and then, be like, hey, there's a chick here too. Let's include her. Bree sounds fun. She goes on to say, while we're waiting in line, he's thinking that he's going to get lucky. Like, oh, this is my time, Bree says. So we get in, and the girl that I'm with, we look at each other. I feel like the girl and we start making out right there. All right, Bree, you're not being a prude. So if Bree thinks the other girl is attractive and Bree is attractive, all right, that's pretty good. I'm picturing something that, I'm picturing something that would probably be a hit in Orgy Dome. People are like, hey, look over there. Two models / golf influencers are making out. That's a reason to be in there. So she's saying that the dude's thinking that he's going to get lucky, but then her and the other chick, they start making out right there in Orgy Dome. Explaining the tent from her experience, All right, so she's now talking about the environment, the tent that they go in. From her experience, she added, it was so disgusting in there. There were people doing like all disgusting things. Well, listen, you little Jezebel / golf influencer, you're making out with a chick. Isn't that disgusting? Read your Bible. She says, it smelled so bad. And I was like, am I doing this? And the girl that I was with was also not doing this. So we were just watching and we were cracking up because it looked so ridiculous. And then we got kicked out. They were like, if you're not participating, you need to leave. So the girl and I kissed a little bit more for a while and then we left. All right. There you go. It says here, the festival is often dubbed the wildest festival in the world, and it started back in 1986. And despite Bree's experience, many visitors have raved about having a positive experience inside the Burning Man Orgy Dome. Bye-bye, Bree. Bye-bye. So sad. Kind of a hot story. So, you know, she wasn't going to like jump into a big pile of hairy, bald, can you be hairy and bald? You know what I mean? Bald, hairy, like middle-aged men who are like, hey, Bree, golf influencer, I follow you on Twitter. Come join me. I don't know. All right, there you have it. So anyway, Orgy Dome, we don't have to worry about it. Orgy Dome has been destroyed by that sandstorm that we watched a couple of minutes ago. And I don't know what Bree is doing now. She's going on podcast talking about how she got kicked out of Burning Man, or more to the point, Orgy Dome. Let's see. How about Dust Storms of the Southwest, Burning Man? How about an Epstein update? That's right. Every day I'm going to bring you an Epstein update. This one is going to be quick. Let's take a look at it. Come on. Everything. My internet's moving slow today. I apologize for that. All right. So it says here, we got breaking news. Epstein survivors are going to be holding a press conference on Capitol Hill September 3rd at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. For the first time, many of the Epstein survivors will speak publicly about what happened and demand the release of the Epstein files. It says here, please share the survivors, blah, blah, blah. All right, here you go. Let's take a look at these. See, this is, they put the picture up of all of the surviving Epstein, well, survivors, victims. There you go. But this is Virginia Joffrey, and we know that she's not a survivor. We know that she recently passed away up here in the top left. I don't know who any of these other girls are. One of them, which one of these, trying to figure out which one of these broke bad on Trump and was like, hey, he was at the office and they were trying to hook him up with a 16-year-old. Anyway, there you go. They're going to speak. Again, this is going to be on Capitol Hill, September the 3rd at 10:30. Expect to hear big things about this. I'm sure that all the news will cover it. That's our Epstein update for today. Let's see what else we're going to do. Oh, Snoop Dogg. Let's get into the Snoop Dogg thing. All right, so Snoop Dogg was on a podcast. How are these people getting guests like Snoop Dogg? I had Lacey G. And you know what? I'm very happy to have Lacey G. Snoop Dogg goes on some rando podcast that I've never heard of before, and he makes big news, which is huge for that podcast. Again, we talked about Taylor Swift when we had Lacey on. Taylor Swift going on her boyfriend's podcast to announce, surprise to the world, that she's got a new album dropping. I mean, she didn't have to do that on her boyfriend's podcast. Snoop Dogg goes on some rando's podcast, and now suddenly this rando's probably going to be offered a $10 million a year contract because of it. Because Snoop Dogg said some shit. Snoop Dogg said some shit that's got the left all mad. Yeah, the left was sitting on the sidelines laughing at the dummies on the right for freaking out over Cracker Barrel's logo redesign. But now it didn't, 48 hours later, the left is now like, we want to be upset too. Endorphin rush, endorphin rush. We're mad at something. And what are they mad about? They're mad at Snoop Dogg going on this podcast and talking about taking his grandkids. That's right. Snoop Dogg's got grandkids. Talking about taking his grandkids to a movie and watching two gay cartoon characters. And apparently he didn't like that. And now we all have to hate Snoop Dogg. Do I have that right? All right, let's listen to it. Here it is. Let's see what Snoop Dogg actually said. This was him. Again, I'm not even going to bother saying the name of this stupid podcast because I don't know what podcast it is. Hold on. hate. I hate Google Drive. I hate the way you. All right, let's listen to Snoop Dogg. The woman who's hosting the podcast that Snoop Dogg went on is super hot, though. I'll get, that's probably a good way to get guests. Just be
the new Buzz.
There you go.
I took my grandson to see what was the movie with Buzz Light?
Toy Story?
Not that one, but
the new Buzz. The Lightyear. I think it's called Lightyear.
Yeah, with Keke Palmer is in that movie.
Okay.
She plays like the daughter. So we watching it, and the lady, which is Kiki's mama, they move on into the space years. They move down the line. They're like, man, she had a baby with a woman. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, shit. I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. Hey, man, watch the movie. They just said she had a baby. They both women's. How did she have a baby? Shh. The movie ain't over with. So it's like, it fucked me. I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for. I took my grandson.
All right, so there you have it. You've heard it in context. Gays and the left and all that. They're like, Snoop hates gays. I didn't hear anything about Snoop hating gays. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything like that. Here's what I heard. I heard a grandpa not wanting to get into a sex talk with his kids. Doesn't have to be about gay or straight or whatever. He went to a cartoon, a Buzz Lightyear Toy Story cartoon with his grandkids, and he didn't expect that those kids to be having questions about things that he didn't want to talk to them about. That's all it is. People can say, oh, what, Snoop's anti-gay? Look, you can't be in the entertainment business and be anti-gay. All right, you got gay people around you all the time. You may not like a certain variety of gay man, that stereotype, like I always talk about. That's okay. But, to say that, like, he is anti-gay based on that statement, no. I get that he was put in an awkward position and didn't want to have a conversation about sex with his kids, and he didn't expect to be confronted with such things in a cartoon. That's all. It has almost nothing to do with it being gay, other than that's the thing that sparked the kid's question, because the kid knows that a man and a woman make a baby. So when this children's cartoon offers this, I guess they can call it, well, we're trying to educate. It's a teaching moment. And I believe Snoop's problem, which is also my problem, is that it's not your fucking place. It is not your fucking place to normalize American families to the ideas that women and women can have babies, because children will ask those questions after seeing this cartoon on the big screen and put parents in a position that they didn't want to be in. And again, you can rest on your moral high ground and say that, well, what we're trying to do is soften the narrative and be more inclusive. Fuck you, Hollywood. That's the problem people have. You people are in no position to morally crusade for anything. You're Hollywood. Make us laugh, make us cry, entertain us. That's it. Teaching moments. Come on. I'm not anti-LGBT or anything like that, right? I don't give a shit what you are. If you're a cool person, we can be friends. But I completely understand where Snoop is coming from, but you have to really listen to what he said. I mean, it's easy to just go, Snoop hates gays. Let's ban Snoop. Snoop hates gays. And you know what? I don't know. He might. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the man. I don't know what he's like when you're sitting around in his living room smoking pot. He's like, hey, look at that fag. I don't know. But I certainly know that I can't say that he is anti-gay based on that. That sounded like a grandpa who didn't want to have an awkward conversation. Now, maybe there's more. Context is always illuminating in these situations, but I ain't going to listen to any more. All I know is that is the clip that is going around specifically to trigger people who want to believe that Snoop went on some anti-gay tirade. He didn't. The issue here is that Hollywood, with children's programming, is taking it upon themselves to address issues that a lot of parents are not comfortable with being addressed to their children yet. Well, we're only doing it to be inclusive. No, Okay, there doesn't need to be a gay couple in the new Buzz Lightyear Toy Story spinoff. There just doesn't. I don't want to get into it. There can be. Like, if you can work a way to make it make sense, fine. But I don't think that what Snoop said there on that podcast was as anti-LGBTQ as they're trying to paint him. But you know what? Good fucking luck. He's impenetrable. He's Snoop Dogg. You people can talk all the shit you want on him, but to a whole bunch of people, he's always going to be one of the coolest dudes around, and you people are just a bunch of bitches. Thank you. Thank you. That's all. It's all in the Snoop Dogg story. All right, how about Saturday Night Live? They made some changes, some more changes coming, cast changes. They got rid of... you remember last year when I would review the weekly Saturday Night Lives? I would be like, hey, I saw Saturday Night Live. Here's what I think. Remember how I used to tell you that there seemed to be two factions of writers in the writer's room there? That there was the they-them writers who all came from like theater backgrounds and drama class, and they were all writing for Bo and Yang. And it's why Bo and Yang suddenly had all of these big sketches on the air. Yeah, that was one wing of writers. And then there was the more edgy, kind of true comedy writers, true to what Saturday Night Live has always been, edgy, provocative, offensive, these guys. And I used to say, depending on the host, we will see which writer's room, which writer's side rose to the top. And I used to lament shows that I thought were going to heavily feature the writing and sketches of the theater they-them crowd. And I call them the they-them crowd because the two lead ones are they-thems, and that's fine. But, okay, it does inform me that your sense of humor and satire about the world is probably not going to be in view with, or in line with what mine is. And I guess that's okay, but I don't think that that's what Saturday Night Live is supposed to be. Saturday Night Live is not supposed to be sensitive and in step with what the mainstream is finding okay. Saturday Night Live is supposed to be out there on the edges, looking at the mainstream, mocking it, satirizing it, and essentially showing us that everything is silly. That's what a comedy series is. That's what comedy is. So, they got a little preachy. They got a little bit, this is... Those writers are all gone. Those writers are gone. Two of the main writers from that problematic wing of Saturday Night Live that wrote for Bo and Wang have been relieved of their duties. But also, we've got the first cast member who is not coming back. And it's this guy. I don't even know his name, man. I watch every episode of Saturday Night Live. It's Devin Walker. I know his name. But he is such a non-entity. It's this guy. He's been on the show for 3 years. They got rid of him Sunday night. He posted something to Instagram. Hold on. Where is it? Did I miss it? Let's see. Devin Walker. Here, this guy. I'll show him to you. Just because I swear to God, he is not going to be one of these memorable Saturday Night Live people. He's going to be one of these guys in 5 years that you go, where do I know him from? You're like, oh, yeah, I think he was on Saturday Night Live for a couple of years. He called the environment at Saturday Night Live toxic as hell at times. That's the headline-grabbing comment that he made. But context, again, is always very important here. He said that it was the writing room and the grind and all that was toxic as hell at times. But the headline is, he said it's toxic as hell at times. Jesus, this environment here at the E-Gallery is toxic as fucking hell at times. And I'm sure your workplace is as well. But here he is. All right, it's this guy. You ever seen this guy? I don't even know. I can't think. This is always a problem for you if you've been on Saturday Night Live. If I can't think of one character that you are, Michael Strahan, I guess. He played Michael Strahan, right? Definitely not. Oh, is this his kiss off? Is this what he said? All right, so he posted this to Instagram under the headline of, wait, did he quit or was he fired? Here's what he says. To me, jobs in this industry feel like a bunch of little marriages. Some of them last a long time if we're lucky, but most of them are fleeting. What? How do you live your life? Do you think most marriages that you're going to have are fleeting? This is a terrible analogy, but okay, whatever. They're also permanent until they're not. That's the deal. You know what it is when you sign up. Me and the show, Saturday Night Live, did 3 years together. And sometimes it was really cool. Sometimes it was toxic as hell. But we did what we made the most of. This fucking guy's illiterate. But we did what we made the most of what it was. All right, you know what? Fuck this guy. He's gone. We don't care. He's illiterate. I'm not going to struggle to read his message anymore. You didn't check that before you posted it? You didn't think the news media might pick up on this? You're a Saturday Night Live cast member who is announcing to the world that you're leaving. You didn't read it before you posted it? What kind of a sentence was that? All right, Devin Walker gone from Saturday Night Live. How will we survive, right? How will we survive? All right, let's end today's show. And that's right, we're going to end fairly quickly. Got a lot of stuff to do today. I got 2 phone calls that I got to make, and both of them are going to be like a half hour each. Then I got to go home. I got to shower. I got to walk the dog. And then it's trivia tonight, 4060 Beltline Road, trivia, the back 9. Al's going to be there. I heard Al say he was going to be there. Okay, maybe I didn't hear him say he was going to be there, but I heard him say he didn't have anything to do. After I said, somebody's got to fill in for April. Thank you, Al. I saw Adam like immediately be like, I can't. I've got to go to see some band nobody's ever heard of. Whatever. 20 rudest cities. There's a new list that's out, and we'll click through this. These are, I like to do lists, especially when they concern cities and states and groups of people, because, you know, I've got opinions. So let's do this one. The 20 rudest cities list. How big can I make this? Because I'd like to go through these. I have not looked at this list yet. I just saw it, and I'm like, ooh, let's go through this on the air. Hold on, let's see. 20 cities list. All right, 20 rudest cities list. Boom, I'll share it with you, and we'll experience this for the first time. All right, can I make it bigger? Can I make this thing bigger? All right, shoes. All right, what was 20? Oh, geez, this is already shitty. All right, here we go. 20 rudest cities in America list. Now, here's what you need to know about this study. If your city didn't make the list, then it's not considered exceptionally rude. These are the top 20 cities that are all not good, all considered very rude people. Number 20 on the list, the 20 rudest city in America. That honor belongs to none other than Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia. What's it say about Atlanta? It says, we kick off this list in Georgia with a real peach of, oh, fuck you. All right, if you're going to try and be cute with your writing, a real peach of a city, we're going to move on. All right, Atlanta is 20. Apparently people are rude there. Jacksonville at number 19, the 19th rudest city in America. Yeah, well, these are all just a bunch of like dumb hillbillies. Not hillbillies, because that's my hillbilly friend Dean. He's from Kentucky. He's like, dude, you use hillbilly too wrong. You use it wrong. Hillbillies are a very specific group of people from Kentucky, from Arkansas through Kentucky into Appalachia. Those are hillbillies. Everybody else is just Southern trash. That's what he says. Florida trash here in the case of 19. Jacksonville, the 19th rudest city in America. All right, let's see. 18, Boston. Yeah, these people are heathens. These people from Boston. You know what's wrong with people from Boston? I'll tell you. They're not New York, and they are constantly reminded of New York. Boston was first. Like, Boston was the capital of America. I mean, not literally, but Boston was the big city in America. Everything was happening in Boston. And then over a course of a couple hundred years, New York passed by them. And Boston has never been able to get right with that. Their head is like, we're more important and older than New York, but why is New York? So, you know, Boston's angry. They're angry. They're angry that they're not New York. All right, what was that? Number 17? Yeah, number 17, Tulsa. Why are they showing, isn't that Friends? Did Chandler get sent to Tulsa in Friends? Isn't that it? Wasn't that a subplot in Friends? Anyway, okay, number 17, Tulsa. Number 16, Portland. Portland, I don't know if this is Oregon or Maine. Let's investigate. I'm betting that it's Oregon. That's right. What's this dude? What's going on with this guy in the picture? He is the representative of Portland, a black dude carrying a bag of oranges. Why? What's the point? And I got to ask, what came first, the hat or the oranges? Is he carrying the oranges because they go with the hat? Or did he say, I'm going to the store to buy oranges, I'm going to wear this hat? I don't know. Portland is number 16, the 16th rudest city in America. This guy looks rude. Don't ask him about the oranges. Seattle. Seattle is number 15. There you go. Seattle. All right, why would Seattle be rude? Because people are always rushing because everybody's trying to get out of the rain. It's like, just get out of my way. Get out of my way. You know, is it like that? Might be. Might be. Number 15, Seattle. We are in the top 15 rudest cities in America. Number 14. Oh, look at us. Look at us in the big D. Oh, yeah. Well. Let's see what they say about us. All right, this one we'll investigate since we're here in Dallas. Number 14th rudest city in America is Dallas. Now, most people across the country and the world have Texans down as a cheery bunch. What? No, that's not. Nobody thinks of it. People from Minnesota. That's like the whole Minnesota nice thing. Texas, people like some dude in Pennsylvania is not like, you know who really seem like nice people? Them Texans. We don't seem like nice people to the outside world. I'm just telling you. We seem very set in our ways and argumentative. That's what, and a lot of guns. Now, most people across the country and the world have Texas down as a cheery bunch, polite and friendly. Like, well, that may still be true. Oh, I get it. Polite and friendly like. I get it. Well, that may still be true, but the oil-rich city of Dallas has something of a separate reputation. The 10-gallon hat wearers in the home of the Cowboys are known for their refusal to take no. We don't fucking wear 10-gallon hats in Texas. Stop it. God, I hate that. I hate these shortcut tropes that they assign to cities. You know, you see it most glaringly whenever a big network sport event happens in your city and they come back from a commercial. And what is it with the Cowboys? It's always the horses at there at Las Colinas, you know, the gold horses. Every fucking national Cowboy game. Welcome back to AT&T Stadium. Those are, of course, the horses. It's always the horses, the stockyards in Fort Worth. Like, they'll always give us an establishing shot of the stockyards. Chicago, it's pizza. Like, it's always, doesn't matter. If it's a national Monday night football game it's Chicago, they'll be like, we got pizza delivered in the box. There's another local community trope that we're shoving down everybody's throat. Nobody wears cowboy hats in Dallas, okay? I've not seen anyone wearing a cowboy hat outside of somebody going, hey, look how crazy I look in a cowboy hat. That's like the last time I saw. Strippers, there you go. Strippers at strip clubs occasionally will wear cowboy hats. Why? Because if you're in town from Portland on business, you think everybody wears them, so why not look at a stripper in a cowboy hat? I think that Dallas is 14. Do better, Dallas. Do better. We can be nicer. We're not, though. We are. Dallas is a jerky city. There's a lot of dicks here. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of arrogance. There's a lot of... All right. What else do we got? 13, Florida City. Never heard of it. 12, Arizona City. Never heard of it. 11, California. So what are we doing here? What is this? What is this, an algorithm that just pumped out 3 cities with city at the end of them? Screw you. I don't know what that is. Never heard of any of these. All right, top 10. Here we go. Top 10 rudest cities. Memphis, also one of the most deadly. Memphis is a freaking crime zone, man. But I like Memphis. I like the food. I like Beale Street. I like the whole vibe. I like it. Memphis is like right in between St. Louis and New Orleans. And I don't mean geographically. I mean like vibe-wise. Like, St. Louis is trying to have the River City vibe again. They once did. St. Louis was once a burgeoning metropolis with a really cool cultural scene. And, you know, they were like the top of the Mississippi. You know, they were that whole thing. But now St. Louis is just awful. And then you go downstream a little bit, and then you get Memphis, you know, blues and Elvis and barbecue and all of that. And they got great music down there and great culture, and that's pretty cool. And then you go even further, and then you get to New Orleans, where it's just like, you know, you're ankle deep in piss and vomit everywhere. Yeah, I don't like New Orleans. Memphis is the best of the 3 is my point. And it's still the murder capital. And clocking in at number 10 rudest city in America. Jersey City, just outside New York. Okay, New York's got that reputation. I imagine we're going to see New York here shortly. Jersey City also comes in at number 9 in the rudest city in America. Miami, yeah. Miami's a bunch of assholes. Miami, every club douchebag who gets bottle service and is dating a fitness model, or whatever. Every one of those dudes lives in Miami. I swear to God, it's the wraparound shades capital of the world. It's the gold chain dangling outside a turtleneck sweater capital of the world. Although that's more like winter and seasonal dress. But yeah, every fucking dickhead you could ever imagine, Miami is their Oz. It's their Emerald City. So it doesn't surprise me to find out that Miami is number 8 on the rudest cities in America. I fucking hate Miami. I do. Miami is great for a weekend. Go for a weekend, have some fun. But my God, if you have to stay in Miami more than a weekend and then actually sort of rub elbows with those people, everybody's running a scam. Everybody's beautiful. It's the modeling capital of the world. So also porn. They also do a whole shit ton of porn. Why? Because not everybody can be Claudia Schiffer. Sorry. Oh, what's the matter? You moved down to Miami Beach. You were trying to become a big model with Wilhelmina or Ford or one of the big agencies located here. Didn't make it. Need to pay your rent. How about Bang Bus, baby? That's also in Miami. Yeah. All right. Let's go. Number 7, Salt Lake City. What? Really? How is Salt Lake City rude? Spooky? I could see Salt Lake City being spooky. I just imagine it's an entire city of populated by that preacher who was going door to door in Poltergeist. Remember in Poltergeist, the preacher? I just imagine that's everybody in Salt Lake City. Every dude in Salt Lake City. Every chick in Salt Lake City is a virgin and just a blonde, blue-eyed 10. Just gorgeous. Holy shit, how did this happen? How did an entire state? There are no ugly women in Utah. They're all fucking weird. They're all weird. So, as a guy, you got to be like, how much weird can I put up with? I mean, look at how beautiful she is. How much weird? That's what you learn. And all the guys look like the preacher from Poltergeist. There you go. That's Utah. Number 7 on your rudest list, Salt Lake City. Number 6, here it is. I'm surprised it didn't make a top 5. Number 6, New York City. New York City is number 6 on the list of America's rudest city. I might have thought it was 1, but again, that's the trope and the stereotype. Everybody in New York's mean, right? Or rude or whatever. Number 6. All right, let's get into the top 5. Here we go. The top 5 rudest cities in America. Las Vegas. Yeah. Everybody's an asshole in Las Vegas. Kind of the same dynamic as Miami, except that everybody in Las Vegas is either 1, completely stressed out because they're fucking losing everything and they're going to bite your head off, or 2, they've won a lot, they're fucked up, and they are causing all kinds of problems. Those are the people you meet in Las Vegas. Oh, also tourists who just got there. And tourists who just got there who haven't, reached either of those 2 options yet. But rest assured, everybody leaves Vegas one of those 2 ways. Number 5, rudest city in Vegas, or rudest city in America is Vegas. Number 4, Los Angeles. Yeah, it's another city filled with a bunch of dicks, bunch of entitled dicks, rich people, powerful people, influential people, a bunch of dicks. Yeah, Los Angeles is definitely a rude city. Remember, Dallas was 14. Dallas was 14. That's not terrible. I mean, you don't want to be in the top 20. It's kind of the whole point. What about my city, Chicago? Here we go. Top 3, right? Murder capital, bad vibes, obviously going to be here. Washington, D.C. is number 3. Fuck you. I'm already really? You're going to drop Chicago in as 2 or 1? Really? We need that kick in the nuts? All right. Number 2. Philadelphia. Fuck you. Phoenix. Hey, Chicago didn't even make the list. Chicago's not even one of the 20th. I'm very proud of my hometown. You know why? Because we're Midwestern nice. We really are. You think we're New York, but we're not. We're Midwestern nice. I'm going with that. There you go. Okay, Phoenix is the number 1 rudest city in America, and number 2 was Philadelphia. I had to ruin the countdown. I had to jump ahead. I was going to lose my shit if they made Chicago number 1, and I'm like, based on what? I'm actually kind of pleased. Dallas is not in the top 10, which is, I guess, good. We're still in the top 20, which means we got to work on some stuff. We got to try to not be in the top 20, but that's good. Philadelphia is number 2. Rudest city in America, and Phoenix is number 1. Why is Phoenix number 1? Oh, I know why Phoenix is number 1. Like, you're probably thinking, wait, what about Phoenix? Why is everybody rude in Phoenix? Because Phoenix is all wealthy golf and old people. That's all Phoenix is. It's all just a bunch of people with money, not like super wealthy, but like wealthy enough that when they retire, they're like, I'm going to buy a house on a golf course in a state I've never lived in before. That's, that's a level of success that you should aspire to. So that's who populates the desert out there. Bunch of people from elsewhere, and they're old. So they're from somewhere else. They're old, which means they're not good with change. So what do you call this? A taco? What is it? No, Grandpa, we're in Arizona now. That's called a flauta. It looks like a taco to me. I hate this food. Can I get a good Jewish sandwich? So they're always in a bad mood, the people in Phoenix. They're angry. They can't get good deli anymore. They're old. The old people are, a lot of times they're just cranky because shit hurts, oh, my back hurts or whatever. That's it. That's why Phoenix is the rudest city in America, because it's populated by a bunch of wealthy people who live on golf courses who can't get good deli sandwiches. All right. That was fun. Frank Smith, I tell you this all the time, you people. I love my boy Frankie. Frankie and I have been friends for 25 years now. But if you ever need someone to state the obvious, there he goes, Frankie. Eagles fans road. Points, Frankie. Appreciate you, Frankie. Frankie also says, here we go, right? One more out of Frankie. Phoenix is hot. There you go. My boy gives you the obvious every single time. Phoenix is hot. It's hot here, though. It's hot here in Dallas. Is Phoenix hotter than Dallas? I don't know. Let's go. You want to fight Phoenix? I think that Texas is as hot as Arizona. Maybe not. Maybe, and if it's not, then we're just talking like incremental, right? Hold on. I just got I'm getting text from people. I got to wrap this up. Okay. Tonight, we're going to be doing some trivia. Check it out down there. Trivia. More from Frank. Frank's been blowing up the chat room the last couple of minutes. Chicago was nice. Midwestern nice. Yeah. There's definitely a difference. There's like a mind your own business kind of attitude. And, I will say this. The Texas attitude is not mind your own business. The Texas attitude is, why are you doing it that way? Here's how you need to do it from now on. Like, that's the Texas attitude. Midwestern attitude is, look at that. And then you just move on. I think that the absolute best regions are actually, if you did a Venn diagram, Chicago would be represented very well, my hometown. The two best regions, I think, are Midwestern and Great Lakes. I think people who live around the Great Lakes, they kind of, the weather is bad. They're a more hardy group. They band together more, what with blizzards and ice and starvation because you can't get to the fish and all that stuff. I don't know. I'm just saying. I like Great Lakes Midwest. I think that's a good attitude. And if you notice, none of the cities in the Great Lakes or the Midwest were represented there. I think the closest thing we had was Tulsa, and that's not the Midwest. I mean, is Tulsa the Plains? I don't even know what Tulsa is. It's a big fucking. Oklahoma is a giant ashtray. Oklahoma is like our worst state, right? Or at least one of them. Because it doesn't even have the beauty of the other empty states. Like, we've got empty states that we'd be like, we're not really getting much out of them. Your Montanas, your Wyomings, your Idahos, right? Almost nothing. But then Oklahoma is just like, it's the shit land we gave to the Indians, right? It was like the best land that because we didn't want to give away the pretty land up there in the mountains. So we just gave them the shit land, and now we call it Oklahoma. And we got Tulsa. I don't know. This is a stream of consciousness. I'm just ranting. Whatever comes into my mind next. Cardi B is on trial. What is Cardi B on? Cardi B on trial for alleged assault and abuse. Do I know anything about this? I don't think I do. Do I care at all about this? I don't think I do. I don't think I do. All right, we'll see you guys at trivia tonight. It'll be fun. Once again, I'll give you the categories for tonight's trivia. That's right. Why not? We'll make this official. Here we go. Round 1 of trivia tonight at the back 9, 4060 Beltline Road. We're going to do a random category to start things off. Then we're going to move into cool things that are cool, followed by comedy casts and current events. That's round 1. Round 2 of trivia will be, once again, starting out with random. It's a nice little pace setter. Random state capitals, book stuff. Do you know about books? Well, maybe. Book stuff and gross food. That's right. Food that I think is gross. I'll give you trivia questions. All the answers will be food that coincidentally I think are gross. That's tonight for trivia, trash trivia out there at the back 9. Guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Normal show, Wednesday, 2 o'clock. I appreciate you hanging out. Hopefully we'll see you then. And hold on, what's this? Peter says Tulsa is just there, not region specific. Like, is there a difference between Tulsa and Oklahoma City? Like, is there culturally like a difference? Like, is one, it all just seems like Oklahoma to me. But again, I admit I'm totally ignorant, right? I don't know anything about that stuff. All right, we're done. I'm out. You're what? You're done watching this. Okay, bye everybody. See you tomorrow. This is the Rant. I'm Pugs Moran. Like, follow, subscribe, Radio Misfits, all of that good stuff. See you trivia tonight, 4060 Beltline Road, the back 9, 7:30. Bye. Hold on. Got to answer Adam. I'm tired of going out with Adam taking a parting shot and then me not getting to answer. Adam says, I met a real Chicago dickhead in Austin this weekend. I just texted you the pic. Twitter wouldn't let me post it. Well, yeah, there's fucking probably millions of dickheads in Chicago. It's not saying we're all nice. It's not saying that everybody's, nice. John Wayne Gacy, Richard Speck. My God, we've got a lot of bad guys from Chicago. Ain't nobody saying that ain't the case. Just saying pound for pound. Road rage. It's like there's way more road rage here in Texas. I'll say that. I noticed that. There's way more road rage down here. People down here are, first of all, never mind. They don't use turn signals. Who taught you people how to drive? I don't understand Texas drivers. Nobody ever uses turn signals. A dotted line or a straight solid white line mean absolutely fucking nothing to you people. You're all going like 15 to 20 miles an hour over the speed limit. I don't know. Texas drivers, they're the worst. It's like you people didn't learn. It's like I learned how to drive a tractor at 7 and that was good enough. The fuck? But no, make no mistake, there is a lot of fucking dickheads in Chicago. All right. A lot of dickheads everywhere. Gotta go. Bye.